to me. Swear all I got to keep me sane is my masterpiece. The guys must laugh at the thought of a happy me. Yeah. I'm caught between the want for new love to ease the pain, and fear that I would burden her soul with all the same. But this weight is hard to carry. Yeah, all this weight is hard to carry, and I'm hurting from the strain. No lover left to care for me, no solace left to claim. Only burning in my brain when I wake from sleep. I learned the hard way, I suck at handling my rage. Gone in my heart, I wear it on my sleeve. Been in my head so long it hurts to think. I think I need a drink. Call me out my name, and it make me think I'm worthless. Rip me up to pieces and then package them for purchase. Fuck me and then fake love, and make me think it's true love. Then replace me with a white boy that your family will approve of, and your father will be proud of you. Your father would be proud of you.
Welcome back to the show. Man Talk Monday, February 20th, 2017. Thank you for joining your boy. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. So Anthony Davis breaks the great Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain's all-star scoring record, earning MVP honors. You know what? I don't want the studio audience or the listeners, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, I don't want the studio audience and the listeners thinking I'm not a fan of Anthony Davis. I love this kid's game. I mean, phenomenal. But I'm a bigger fan of Russell Westbrook, and that is bias, I guess, on my part. That's personal bias. I will acknowledge that. Davis took on an all-star record 39 shots and scored 52 points to lead the West over the East at the 66 All-Star game, 192 to 182. That kind of became a theme of the damn game at some point, like in the second quarter. Like, they were on pace to score like 200 points. And so it kind of seemed like that in some of the little interviews that they did at halftime, that they were going to try to go for 200 points. And once again, the final score is 192 to 182. The 23-year-old's point total smashed the previous record once again of 42, set by Wilt Chamberlain in 1962. Here's a quote. He says, "I stressed that I think more than enough to the guys in the locker room before the game that I wanted to get the MVP for the crowd." So wait a minute, man. It seems kind of like you're breaking a man law, where you politic to try to get the MVP for the MV or for the All-Star game. Now, I'm sure a lot of guys set out to go out there and try to put up as many shots as possible and have as impressive as a game as possible so that they can win the MVP award. But I think it's kind of like one of those man laws, those unwritten man laws that you don't politic for it. No, Anthony Davis saying that he came out and he politicked for it. He says, "I stressed that I think more than enough to the guys in the locker room before the game that I wanted to get the MVP for the crowd, for the city. And then I ended up doing it," Davis said. Them guys did a great job of just finding me, giving me the basketball. They wanted me to score 50 every time. Kawhi Leonard was like 6 more points. Or James Harden was like, I'm going to pass you the ball. That's right. So this thing evidently was a concerted effort to make sure that Anthony Davis won the MVP award. Now listen, once again, I want to say it one more time for the record because I don't want anybody to get it twisted. I'm a big fan of Anthony Davis. Like skill-wise, he might be the best player in the game right now, maybe even surpassing LeBron James based on LeBron's age. Like all-around skill level. LeBron's got, maybe 3-4 more years left in the league. This Anthony Davis kid literally has another 12, 13 years to play in the NBA. So, like, if I were picking a squad right now, I think a lot of y'all would agree with me. If I were picking a squad right now, I think that I might take him, with all things considered. So I'm not saying I'm not a fan of his, but seems kind of bootleggish, man, to politic for the MVP All-Star MVP game. Russell Westbrook scored 12 points, all in threes in a 63-second span late in the third quarter after coming off the bench. Just absolutely electric. It looked like that he was going to cinch MVP honors until Davis scored 20 points in the fourth quarter. Yeah. So once again, we find out from Anthony Davis himself that he politicked to try to win the MVP award for the game last night. And once again, I like the kid, man. He's a phenomenal player. I might start my squad with him. I guess I'm just a bigger fan of Russell Westbrook. And I kind of root for the quote unquote villains. I've always done that. Like a lot of people in America hated Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was my dude. A lot of people in America, I'm that guy. A lot of people hated Mike Vick. Mike Vick is my dude, or was my dude. Same thing with Russell Westbrook, because I think a lot of it is BS. I think it's all media-driven. I think the narrative is controlled by a lot of people that shouldn't have that type of power. And so I always root for the little guy. I always root for the guy that's playing with the chip on his shoulder that, quote-unquote, the masses don't like. And no offense to Anthony Davis, man, but Russell Westbrook's my dude. What are your thoughts? 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. Also, the NBA Slam Dunk Contest, man, sham. Oh, my gosh. You got to be kidding me, man. It seems like this thing gets worse and worse every year. Shots out, I guess, Baller Award to Big Dog's boy, Glenn Robinson III, I think he is. Shots out to him for winning the whole thing. I guess, congratulations, man. He was the better of the worst guys. Slam Dunk Championship goes to Glenn Robinson III, Big Dog's little boy. Once again, Glenn Robinson, senior, former Purdue legend, college basketball legend, played many, many years in the NBA. Who did Big Dog play for? Milwaukee Bucks. I think he may have even played for the Hawks for a minute. But his little boy, man, gets the Slam Dunk Championship. Just dreadful. I mean, absolutely dreadful. And I don't know. We talk about this every year, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. The little thing that Gordon did at the beginning, where he had the little drone bring a basketball out there and drop it. And it wasn't like he dropped it and he caught it out of the air and tried to make the slam dunk and turned a 360 or something like that, 180. No. The drone dropped the ball on the ground. Most of y'all saw this. Dropped the ball on the ground, and he tried to catch it off the bounce, and then he missed. And it didn't work. I mean, just absolutely bad. And then several attempted dunks were just horrible, just bad. And I don't even know what to do. And I heard this morning Stephen A. Smith make a suggestion. Kind of like we talked a while back, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, kind of how we talked years ago about how they could change the NFL Pro Bowl game some things that they could change. Stephen A. made a good suggestion. I don't know how long he's been making this suggestion, and I'm not even sure about that. But he made a good suggestion just to take the NBA players out of the game and put in street ballers. Put in street baller type slam dunk guys that you see on YouTube or whatever that could come out there and entertain, that a lot of time put a lot more effort into it, have, some great physical abilities. Just because they play in the NBA, don't play in the NBA, doesn't mean that they can't jump out of the gym. So he was like, and I thought about it for a second, why don't you put street ballers out there, cats that you've seen dominate the YouTube video circuit as far as their dunks. And really, when you think about it, you would say, well, they don't really have a brand. Nobody knows who they are. People won't watch. But to be honest with you, Aaron Gordon, Glenn Robinson III, the other kid that was in it, man, nobody really knows who they are either. You kind of know who Gordon is. You kind of know who Glenn Robinson is, because of his daddy. But you're not going to set your clock to go and watch the slam dunk contest because of these guys' names and their celebrity. So I don't know. Maybe I need to kick it around in my head a little bit more, man. I'll ask you the question. Do you think that would make the slam dunk contest better? Would you be more interested in it if you got whatever and one mixtape street ball player to come out there and do a 575 dunk or whatever, man? Or do you like the way it is right now? The problem with it right now is it's been going on for so long, and we've seen every dunk. There's nothing really that they can do. They can do what's been done in the past and try to top it, like to make it a little bit better. Like if you're talking about a dunk from the three-point line or from the free throw line, maybe you try to go a little bit further back than the free throw line. If you put the ball through your legs, maybe you want to try to jump a little bit higher. But for the most part, there's nothing that we haven't seen. Now they do all of these, dunks where they add props to it with a little drone and, the Dwight Howard wearing a Dominique Wilkins jersey or whatever, man. But when it was, so I don't know. It's just nothing that's been that they did this weekend that we haven't seen before. So what are your thoughts on it, man? The slam dunk contest, or do you just get rid of it? I don't think you can get rid of it. But the way it's going right now, it's definitely, as they say, trending down. It's definitely trending down. I have no clue. Very interesting thought about bringing street ballers in. I'll give them credit. Stephen A., I heard say that this morning on the Puppet Factory. Maybe. I don't know. I have to, play around with it a little bit more in my head. But what are your thoughts about All-Star Weekend in general? What are your thoughts about the NBA Slam Dunk Contest? I just want to hear your thoughts in the chat room on Spreaker.com. From Tiffany Sports and Heels. By the way, Tiffany, we do have the phone system straightened out. We do have it straightened out. We would love for you to call the show today. And if you're new to the show, Tiffany Sports and Heels last week, it was just a tough week for us. And she called up here, and we had some issues with the phone, so we weren't able to hear her call properly. But we have everything fixed out, fixed and ready to go, everything figured out. So if you can, Tiffany, if you'd like, we had a little back and forth last week. I don't want it to end like that. If you have a second, call the show at 404-382-0338. We will allow you to come on. There will be no shenanigans. I'm pretty sure, reasonably sure, that you won't get shot off air. And that's it. And we give that invitation to everybody listening to the show, to the Doug Stewart Show. But Tiffany, Sports and Heel, says when you're a superstar, stop doing it, it becomes boring. And that's a fact. That's a fact. And I never understood the argument for, why the superstars don't want to get into the game. Oh, they don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want to risk injury. What do you mean injury? You dunk. They had like a million gazillion dunks in the game. Just add a little creativity to it. Come out there and dunk. And for people that came along during my generation when the best players in the game got into the dunk contest, this is bad. This is insulting. Like, really? Really? You don't want to come out there and dunk a basketball?